Oh, sorry, Councillor Casey.
Yeah, thanks. It's just a question. Obviously, I welcome the investment. I welcome the paper for the kind of the investment in the East of Queensley site, and I think it does give huge benefits to the wider east end of the city. But I think more importantly, for my constituents in Denniston, where they've had issues relating to the Blochairn MRF site, which is in the waste transfer station there as well, which has caused significant concerns regarding odours, etc., to close proximity to residential properties there. And one of the main drivers and reasons for moving the facility up to East of Queensley is the eventual closure of Blochairn, and I really welcome that. So I suppose for myself, it's just to try and get a bit of a timeline for residents in the Blochairn area as to when the kind of operations will start to cease at Blochairn. I think it would be really helpful to give them reassurance that we're listening to their concerns and we're moving that facility away from that largely residential area.
Thank you. Councillor Doherty.
No, thank you, Councillor Casey, for that question. I appreciate local members will have a keen interest in the redevelopment of East of Queensley, given the significant challenges that Blochairn has faced, both with expensive breakdowns and also odour penetrating into the wider community. I'll pass over to officers for details on a timeline.
There's probably two elements to it. So I can start with one of it. I'll pass over to my colleague Alec for the second part. So in terms of the Blochairn site, so as part of this year's budget proposal, we're looking to ramp down that site as a MRF. Because it has the challenges that Councillor Doherty highlighted, it's coming to the end of its operational life, and that's why we're transitioning to this new site. So we're in that process, and we're looking to, over the next year, to progressively close that down. However, it won't, and that would massively reduce the impact on that site. There still will be an element of waste transfer on that site until the new East of Queensley site is produced, or sort of created. However, we are looking to mitigate as much possible of the waste managed on that site, reduce it to other sites where possible. In terms of the actual build itself of East of Queensley, I'll pass over to my colleague Alec, who will give you more detail on that.
Sorry. Our current programme is intended to start works on site in September this year and to complete early in 27. So that's the plan just now, obviously dependent on a contractor's programme and plan that we have to get as part of that, but our timeline is to get on site and crucially spend our government grant funding, which has to be spent over the next 2 financial years. So a real pressure on us to get it done in that time frame, and that's what we'll be working on, and working on the details of our programme and a soft landing process at the end of that to get operational as soon as possible.
Yeah, no, I really welcome that commitment, and largely I welcome the commitment with regards to the waste transfer station. Obviously, the MRF itself probably doesn't cause us the most problems with odours, etc. It is the waste transfer station element of it. And I welcome the commitment to try and reduce and transition away from using that site as much as possible. And again, I would just urge officers and the council to look at that seriously in terms of the utilisation of other sites across the city where there's less residential properties around about that, because it does have a massive detrimental impact on the residents living in Blochairn with regards to the issues that have been raised. So I do welcome that commitment to try and reduce that as much as possible.
Thanks very much, Councillor Casey.